Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to learn about solid waste management. In the last session, we have already discussed some disposal methods adopted for solid waste. For example, open dumping, landfilling, and incineration. In this session, we will deal with composting, anaerobic digestion, and recycling disposal methods for solid waste. Firstly, composting. It is a beneficial method for managing domestic biodegradable waste. The product obtained in few weeks called compost. It is very rich in plant nutrients. It is used as a fertilizer in organic farming. It is the process of plant biodegradation of organic matter by microorganisms under controlled conditions either in open pits or in enclosed bins. If the composting is done in open pits, it is known as open window composting. If the composting is done in enclosed bins, it is called closed cell composting or in vessel composting. This process is accomplished by providing the right conditions for bacteria and fungi to convert the organic waste to compost. Open window composting requires relatively large land areas. The waste has to be turned or mixed every few days. Enclosed mechanical composting facilities can reduce land requirements by about 85%. Mechanical composting systems employ one or more closed tanks or digesters equipped with rotating vans that mix and aerate the shredded waste. Complete digestion of the waste takes about 1 week. This compost is removed periodically every few weeks and used as fertilizer. Another category of composting is aerobic composting and anaerobic composting. In aerobic composting, decomposition occurs where oxygen is absent or in limited supply. Here, the processing time is long. In the anaerobic composting, decomposition occurs where oxygen is present. Here, the processing time is shorter and methane emissions to the environment are avoided. Another type of composting is vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is a type of composting in which certain species of earthworms are used to enhance the process of organic waste conversion and produce a better end product. It is a mesophilic process utilizing microorganisms and earthworms. Earthworms feeds the organic waste materials and passes it through their digestive system and gives out in a granular form, which is known as vermicompost. Vermicomposting is done in a pit lined with dried leaves or grass by introducing a culture of earthworms under moist conditions. Eisenia fetida is a red wiggler which is most preferred over the other types. It can decompose and convert the organic matter into vermicompost within 45 to 50 days or has a high metabolic rate. Eisenia fetida is the most common species of earthworm that is used throughout the world for the vermiculture technique. Fertile compost is obtained in about 45 days. The raw materials, for example, food waste, animal waste, agro waste, plant waste, and earthworm are the only requirements of vermicomposting. Process of vermicomposting includes 5 steps. First one, collection. Earthworm can be collected by observing earthworms casting. Second step is the construction of vermibed and compost bed. The third step is the separation of earthworms and solid waste. The fourth step is the packaging and labeling. The fifth step is the transportation and marketing. The advantages associated with the method of composting are: the waste management through conversion to compost not only provides a means of disposal at reduced cost but also provides economic returns. The waste effectively gets recycled rather than getting disposed of through composting for beneficial purposes. Since composting can be done near the places of waste generation, it saves the cost of transporting waste. Moreover, composting provides a means of waste disposal at virtually zero energy consumption. Composting providing possibilities for community participation. Composting saves space in landfills. The composting process, particularly aerobic composting, is environmentally sound since aerobic composting transforms a range of organic substrates into stable humus like material. Through microbial decomposition, methane emissions to the atmosphere are avoided. The final product has no resemblance in physical form to the original waste and is devoid of pathogenic organisms. Compost used in the form of a fertilizer supplies a part of the essential elements needed by the plants and allows the soil to retain plant nutrients over a long period. It helps reduce the adverse effects of excessive acidity and alkalinity, reduces the necessity for chemical fertilizers, makes the soil easier to cultivate, and prevents soil erosion. Some limitations are also associated with the process composting. Waste containing significant amount of non-biodegradable waste like plastics, heavy metals, etc. are not suitable for composting. So a thorough removal of non-biodegradable portions of the waste is required before composting. If the market for compost in the vicinity of the generation site is inadequate, considerable transportation cost may be involved. Another disposal method of solid waste is anaerobic digestion or biogasification. It is the natural process that breaks down organic matter in the solid waste in the absence of oxygen to facilitate the release of a gas known as biogas, leaving an organic residue called digestate. Since methane-rich biogas is produced in the process, it is also called biogasification or biomethanation. Biogas is a mixture of methane, carbon dioxide and water along with small amounts of other gases. Biogas can be used as fuel. Digestate can be used as a fertilizer and soil improver. Anaerobic digestion of biodegradable organic waste uses putrefactive bacteria and an oxygen-free environment to degrade the waste. Putrefactive bacteria is a methane-producing bacteria. Anaerobic digestion is carried out in an enclosed space under controlled conditions of temperature, moisture, pH, etc. It is a human engineered decomposing system called digester where in the waste mass undergoes decomposition generating biogas. There are various types of biogas plants. Generally, the digester of a biogas plant consists of a digestion tank, which is thermally insulated, a heating system, mixer system, and a discharge system for sediments and spent substrate. The anaerobic digestion process consists of two main phases. In the first phase, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats give rise to fatty acids, amino acids, and alcohols. These are converted into methane, carbon dioxide and other gases including ammonia and hydrogen sulfide in the second phase. Solid waste including animal excreta and poultry litter, food waste from domestic, commercial and industrial sources, green waste from parks and gardens, etc. can be used as feedstock for the digester to produce biogas. The anaerobic digestion method has several advantages. Biogas produced from anaerobic digestion of solid waste forms an important fuel for cooking. Biogas can be compressed much like natural gas and used as fuel in motor vehicles. Biogas can be used in gas engine to convert its energy into heat and electricity. The digestate from biogas plants can be used as a fertilizer and soil improver. Anaerobic digestion provides a means of getting rid of waste in an environmentally sound as well as cost-effective and profitable manner. The anaerobic digestion method reduces the land requirements for municipal solid waste disposal. The anaerobic digestion method reduces, unlike landfilling, avoid contamination of groundwater and surface water sources by any leachate. Some limitations are also associated with the anaerobic digestion method. biogas plants require a consistent source of degradable organic matter. The waste fed into a biogas plant must mostly be free from non biodegradable organic materials like plastics. So, a prior careful separation of such materials from the waste is necessitated. There has to be a sustainable demand for the generated biogas in the vicinity of the plant at appropriate profitable conditions. There should be a market potential for the digestate produced during the process as manure in order for the process to be economically viable. Another disposal method of solid waste is recycling. It is the process by which materials that are otherwise destined for disposal are separated, collected, processed, and remanufactured into reusable forms. It is a preferred waste management strategy that should be opted, if possible, before going for any other waste processing or treatment facilities. The materials like paper, plastics, metals, and glass are commonly recycled in many parts of the world. Each type of material to be subjected to recycling is first carefully separated either manually or by automated methods from the accumulated solid waste. For recycling plastics, separated plastic material is then cleaned by washing. Afterwards, the main processes are fabricating, that is cutting, bending and fixing, and remelting, followed by molding or extrusion. Extrusion is the process of creating objects of desired cross section. For example, in a plastic recycling, thermoplastic scrap is cut into small pieces and then melted. It is then used for molding into useful objects, or it is shaped into pellets for future use by remelting and remolding. The quality of the plastic after each processing cycle depends upon the type of plastics recycled. In the case of recycling of metal cans or glass articles, they are first cleaned, crushed, then melted in a furnace and molded into new useful objects. This can be recycled indefinitely because the properties do not deteriorate by reprocessing. In the case of recycling of paper, it involves first converting it into pulp or slurry using water, and after a series of purification steps, pressing it with heavy rollers into sheets. Papers can be recycled only a limited number of times as the quality of the recycled product decreases with every processing cycle. Recovery of reusable material from solid waste through recycling affords several advantages. Recycling decreases the accumulation of all kinds of waste, including municipal solid waste and industrial waste, at all kinds of waste disposal sites. Recycling minimizes air, water, and soil pollution because in recycling, waste products are reused rather than just being thrown away in landfills. Recycling of non biodegradable waste like plastics saves the world from toxic leakages. Recycling protects the environment. For example, the use of recycled paper for various purposes decreases the need for cutting trees and thereby restricts deforestation as well as helps protect animal habitat. Recycling reduces energy consumption because, in the absence of recycled products, the energy required to be spent for the large scale processing of fresh raw materials would have been very high. For example, recycling of aluminum material decreases the need for the energy consuming extraction of the metal from bauxite. Recycling of old materials like metals and glasses ensures sustainable use of natural resources as well as conserve them. In the absence of recycled products, more fresh products would have been manufactured by mining and extraction of fresh raw materials from the earth's crust. Recycling minimizes global warming because the process reduces the need for combustion of waste and thereby restrict the release of greenhouse gases. Further, as the waste recycling processes generally require only the minimal use of fossil fuel, recycling method cause minimal release of greenhouse gases. Recycling generate job opportunities as the recycling plants require workers. Recycling is associated with some limitations. Building up a new waste recycling unit takes up a lot of capital. Operating and maintaining recycling equipment are also cost intensive, so recycling is not always cost effective. Products of recycled materials may be of inferior quality as compared to those manufactured with fresh raw materials. Poor management of recycling site can lead to unhygienic and unsafe conditions for the workers. Waste spread in these sites promote pathogen accumulation leading to spread of diseases and also cause release of hazardous fumes. Today we have discussed some disposal methods for solid waste. This includes composting, anaerobic digestion and recycling. In the next session, we will discuss about biomedical waste and electronic waste. Thank you.